Ladies, do not say these things because it really doesn't come across elegant when you do. I know it because I learned it the hard way, and in this video you're going to find out exactly what I'm talking about. So stay tuned. My dear elegant ladies, welcome back to another video. Ladies, in today's video I really want to talk to you about those 10 things elegant ladies never say. So let's start immediately with point number 1. Number 1, an elegant lady never says that she's going to the loo, to the toilet, or whatever business she has to do behind closed doors. It's just none of anyone's business, so if you have to go, you simply just excuse yourself and elegantly and discreetly disappear. Number 2, an elegant lady would never say, "Give me this." You simply say, "Could you give me this, please?" Don't forget the please, the thank you. That is so important, yet a lot of ladies forget about that. Number 3, unsolicited opinions are an annoyance, both in real life but also on the internet. In today's society, we all think that we all have a right to an opinion, and we sure have. We have freedom of speech. But what is actually appropriate for your speech? Think about it. You might be disliking something, you might have a harsh or strong opinion about something, but ask yourself, is it always appropriate to mention it to somebody? Don't forget that it might be hurtful to a person, or it just might not be appropriate. If you do not like the color red and somebody is wearing red, just keep it to yourself. You don't have to voice everything you think. Number 4, taboo subjects. And shall we do a little recap of what those taboo subjects are? Do not talk about sex, politics, diseases. Remember I mentioned cancer? Do not talk about these things. Or other type of sensitive subjects that can really make people feel either disturbed, maybe they're a graphic type of subject, or just very sensitive subject, even things like soccer teams or religion, or just literally unpopular opinions that you might have, but that are a little bit of a hot topic in today's climate. Point number 5, no matter how curious you are, you just never ask, what do you do, where do you work, etc, etc. Let people open that up if they want to share that information. It's just one of those things that most people actually don't do, believe it or not. However, ladies, it just comes across very nosy, it comes across perhaps a bit opportunistic as well, and it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. I meet a lot of people in general, and even very wealthy men might oftentimes ask you, what do you do? And it's just very rude and intrusive, no matter of your gender. So don't be a little misinvestigator, because it's not going to be a good look for you. Point number 6, and this is again, don't be so investigative, but this is quite bizarre actually. Asking how much things cost, how much people earn, anything money related really. You know that money is a private business. It's a private matter and should be just kept in private for everybody. Even if you know somebody well, it can still come across as too intrusive. And ladies, one of the things that I have learned is that you should never expose any form of financial information, because it just causes problems. So keep that under covers and just let it go if you're curious. By the way, ladies, do you remember I've spoken about style personalities? Are you an elegant classic or an elegant fashionista, or maybe you are an elegant flamboyant lady when it comes to your fashion style? Well, if you want to find out what personality you are, you need to go to this quiz that is here on the screen, or you also have the link below in the description box. Point number 7, elegant ladies, they would never be saying, oh, I have this, I have that, I know this person, I know that person. Oh, aren't we just tired of the name droppers and the show-offs and the ones who brag? I hope you're not doing any of those things, because first of all, people are going to dislike you, and I've spoken about this in my previous videos. But ladies, really, you are not going to impress anybody with whatever you have or whoever you know. It's just really, you know what? People will be more impressed when they find out what you own or who you know, when that information reaches them organically, not when you shout it in their faces, okay? Point number 8. This one, I just find it so awkward, and I always feel so awkward when women do this. When women start talking about how they need sex, they want sex, they're currently, I don't know, in the time of the month when they just really need to, I don't know, have some fun with a man. I just really think it's so inappropriate, and it just comes across very aggressive as well. Even if a man would say these things, I would be so put off. I just think that it's something that you just keep private. So make sure you don't word any of those things, even if it's people you know. Just be a little bit more mysterious and don't let everybody know your business. Point number 9. Let's say you are at a party and you meet somebody who works as a doctor or an accountant or a lawyer or any other type of profession. And what do? You start asking that person for professional advice. Or let's say it's a doctor, you start asking them about medical advice, or the lawyer for legal advice, or the accountant for accounting advice. You see the picture, ladies. Now, one thing that I know is that people with certain professions, they get really frustrated that they always have to talk about their work when they are networking and meeting people in public. I understand that people might be curious, people might have a lot of questions, but this is the thing. You really need to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand that you're probably not the only one who asks all these million questions and want kind of free advice. I understand it might be tempting, but just try and hold back, and if you really need that advice, you can always probably ask them if you can hire them for a consultation, and then you pay them because that is the most fair thing to do. Number 10, ladies, and this is the last point. One of the things that we really need to think about is that especially when we are networking and mixing with all kinds of nationalities worldwide, be very sensitive to what you say about certain countries, especially if that person is present, that is from a country like that. And I am primarily referring, let's say you don't like Sweden, or you think Sweden is a really horrible country, or the politics system in Sweden is really ridiculous. And there I am standing, and I am from Sweden. You might not be aware that I'm from Sweden, or you might be aware. That's even worse actually if you are aware. And then you start kind of insulting the country when you know that a person from the country is present or potentially could be present. Be very careful, because one of the things that we forget sometimes is that people can be very protective of their countries, where they are from. Most of the times people are very proud where they're from. So if somebody is insulting my country, it's going to really leave a bad taste in my mouth, and people can even become really upset. This is the same thing if you don't like a specific football team or any other sports team. Don't just go and voice all of these opinions left, right and center. You really need to be mindful of what you say and how you say it. Surely, we can express ourselves. We don't have to all the time agree with everything in this world, but it's about how do you do it elegantly. Don't just blurb out whatever you think all the time. Think before you speak. That's something that I learned myself. I've had a big struggle in my life when it comes to saying inappropriate things. Believe me, I've done many things on today's list, but I really decided one day that I didn't want to be that person anymore. I wanted to improve how I communicate with people so that I'm not that blunt anymore. And ladies, what I did is that I just started to become more aware of the things that I say and all the time take other people into account whenever I communicate. Now ladies, in my next video, 10 things elegant ladies never do, we actually have another great video that you really need to watch so that you know more about elegant do's and don'ts. I will see you in that video.